there's basically two options. One is the storage near the surface, on or near the surface, and the other is called a geological repository. And then there's decisions to be made. Should there be places spread out all over the United States where you distribute it, or should it be centralized? And there's pros and cons for each type. If it's distributed all over the place, you have to move it around, and it takes more money to manage all those different sites. If it's centralized, then it could be compromised by a terrorist attack, or there's just more bad stuff in one place. So it's pretty feasible. The problem is there have to be continually committed, which means you have to have money for the next 500 years, 1,000 years, to make sure that these near surface storage areas will be well maintained and that people cannot get near them. The other option is this geological repository. That means bury it deep down in the ground somewhere. And you can have open ones where you can get in and check on it, or sealed where you never put it in there, seal it up, and never go back and check on it again. And this could be an irreversible type of a storage situation. So once it's there, it's going to be there forever. And in the United States, we did have one plan for a permanent geological repository in the Yucca Mountains in Nevada. This is the state of Nevada, and this is where the Yucca Mountains are. And the United States government made the decision to dig a tunnel. It's a very stable geological area, and there's not a lot of groundwater anywhere near this. It's very dry. It's near deserts. It's already places that the military owns for weapons testing and whatnot. And so the United States government built this giant tunnel, very, very expensive project, to be a place for permanent storage for all of our nuclear waste. The problem is that the states that have to allow the nuclear materials to be transported across them via truck or rail never gave the permits for these nuclear waste materials to be transported. And as it is, there's so much nuclear waste piling up everywhere. This particular tunnel would be filled up within like a year of now, given the projected production of nuclear waste materials. But it's just been, it's still not used. It's still empty because we can't get the nuclear materials transported there. Okay, so the nuclear situation in the United States is still not resolved, although there are a lot of nuclear power plants, including in Texas. They're nearing the end of their lifetime, and so there's no new permits to build new ones. People are taking a closer look now at our power plants, recognizing that they're going to need a lot of maintenance. They're thinking about the ongoing problem of storage. If we build new power plants, we still have not resolved the storage issue. And the plan of what they thought was they would just extend the lifetime and kind of relax the restrictions around power plants such that they just can keep working longer, the nuclear power plants. But now people are reconsidering that given the situation in the Fukushima, Japan. So all of the biggest problem then really with the nuclear power plants is the nuclear waste and what we're going to do with it. There's no long-term storage solution in the United States right now. Now we'll take a look as we move along through the semester why nuclear power would be better, for example, than fossil fuels, because there are issues with fossil fuels. There's issues with getting coal. It's dangerous. And there's issues with climate change because of all of the fossil fuels that we're burning. So at the end of the day, we have to weigh the pros and cons as which is the better situation, nuclear or fossil fuels. We'll talk about that later in the semester, and we'll wrap this unit up with a discussion on nuclear weapons next.